Okay, I've been hearing a ton of good things about this particular video game franchise, both on the internet and the people who I talk to in person either at my opera practice back in the day or at my job currently, who say that this gaming series is fantastic. So I honestly do want to see what the whole fuss was about. So without further ado, let's get started with the very first installment of this series, shall we? Yo, what is up, my Cinedroids? G to the S here. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the very first entry of this beloved video game franchise, as I stated before, Assassin's Creed. Yes, I heard that there was a movie adaptation based on this game, and, surprising no one, I heard it did terribly, in typical movie-to-game basic Hollywood fashion. But I'm the type of guy who wants to play its source material first, before I jump right into the pits of Hollywood depravity afterwards. So without further delay, let me lecture you guys on what this particular title is clearly about. The game centers on the use of a machine dubbed the Animus, which allows its user to view the genetic memory, particularly the memories of their ancestors, centering around the main protagonist, a bartender named Desmond Miles, played by Nathan Drake from the Uncharted series himself, Nolan North. Which, coincidentally enough, he also worked on Uncharted Drake's Fortune, which also came out the same year this game came out. Bet you didn't know about that, did ya? Anyways, as Desmond relives the memories of one of his ancestors, the assassin Altaïr Ibn-La'Ahad, played by Philip Shahbaz, is how you pronounce it? Anywho, he once lived in the Holy Land during the Third Crusade. However, details of the battle between two ancient sects, the Knights Templar and the Assassin Order, emerge as both scour an ancient artifact known only as the Peace of Eden. Very intriguing stuff. Now, first off, when it comes to the game's graphics and gameplay cinematography, back when it first released on the Xbox 360, the gameplay graphics were a bit dated now. Especially the fact that now that our eyes are used to seeing improved gameplay graphics and quality, thanks to the PS5. But back then, it's not too bad to look at. Sure, the gameplay graphics don't hold up well, but the depth of field looks nice. The 60 frames per second feel like I'm watching a movie while I'm playing the game, so that's something of a plus. And the lighting when it comes to both the parts where we first interact with Desmond Miles, his professor Dr. Warren Vidic, played by Philip Proctor, and his partner Lucy Stillman, voiced by none other than the voice of Anna from Frozen and Cora from the Astro Boy movie. Although this game came out first, Kristen Bell, that's awesome! Anyways, the lighting also takes place where Desmond becomes the assassin, during his time in the medieval setting, and the environment around him feels lived in. So you gotta at least give credit to Ubisoft for some of the graphics that hold up at some point. But yeah, if you guys want to talk about how the mocap animation looks in this game, yeah, again, some of the character animation didn't hold up well on the Xbox back in 2007. But that doesn't mean that this game is automatically crap because of it. Sure, the character animation doesn't look as good as the mocap animation that we see on games nowadays. But that still doesn't mean that the characters look bad. They're serviceable, and in terms of the game's character development, they're meant to serve a purpose to the story. The main character, meaning the character that you and I play as, gets to explore the whole environment and take out each Templar Knight that serves as a means to cause anarchy and destruction to mankind. And the assassin's task is to, what else? Assassinate them and prevent them from reaching their goal. That's all there is to it. And in terms of execution, the story and plotline fits the environment so well here. But my biggest complaint with this game is the gameplay controls. Even during moments where I have to fight off enemy forces, in the mix of the game's use of action sequences. Sure, the action sequences were engaging to watch, but when it comes to me playing the action sequence in front of me, the combat controls were very wonky to handle. And each time I pressed the X button on my Xbox 360 controller, sometimes it would not respond, sometimes it will. But that's the main problem that I ran into with this game. So hopefully once I play the rest of the series, which I currently own on the Nintendo Switch, hopefully the gameplay controls improve once I play the sequel to this. Now when it comes to video game director Patricia Deslietz is how you pronounce it? Apologies, but anyhow, his directorial style in this game, not to put it in a harsh way, but it's not perfect, but it's also not terrible either. The parts where we see Desmond Miles and friends, and the assassin facing off against his foes, they're the main highlights of this game. But when it comes to the citizens' voice acting, some of their lines do loop the same speech over and over again. And I personally thought a broken record was inside their voices or something. That's something that they have to fix once I play Assassin's Creed 2 soon. So again, Patricia, work on that, please. Now, when it comes to the game's dramatic and emotional moments, not a lot to contribute, but there are moments where when you face off against the Templar Knights, they give you bone-chilling speeches when you assassinate them. And to be honest here, not only was I intrigued at what they're saying, but I also have chills up and down my spine for what they are planning to do before you went for the kill. So props to Ubisoft for making the dramatic moments have a context to them when it comes to the game's script. For me, the writing in this game was intriguing throughout my experience playing it. So yeah, my only issues with this game are the gameplay controls and the graphics and cinematography. That's about it. Other than that, guys, in the end, I personally thought the first entry of the Assassin's Creed series wasn't the most perfect, but it's also not a terrible start to this franchise either. It was intriguing, the characters were serviceable to the plot, the open world feel to this was entertaining, and the voice acting wasn't too bad to listen to. In short, it was a solid start to the series, and I'm excited to see what Assassin's Creed 2 is going to be about. But in the meantime, I rate the very first Assassin's Creed game that was released on November 13th, 2007, a solid game rating. Again, not the most perfect, but not terrible to play either. If you guys still own an Xbox 360, or if it's available on Steam somewhere if you own a Windows PC, try it out for yourself. If it's not for you, hey, that's totally fine. You guys don't have to play it if you don't want to. But for those of you who are interested in playing it, I highly recommend it. So the very first Assassin's Creed game. Have you guys played it? If you have, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Was it fun? Was it boring? Answers down below, please. Also, if you like this video and you want to see some more, make sure that like button shines in your face. That'll totally help me out a ton. Also, share it with your family and friends and favorite it. That's a very good way to show support for this review. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell right next to you so you can be notified of future videos that I have in store for you. Also, if you want a shout out in a future video, just follow me on my Instagram page and I will choose one of my Cinedroids to be displayed as a shout out. The link's in the description below. Also, you guys don't have to do this if you don't want to. I understand. But if there's a rare chance that you are interested in doing so, there's a little join button down below the video, just right next to the subscribe button. Or if you guys are watching it on an Apple device, be it iPhone, iPad, or whatever it is that you're using, there will be a link in the description so that way it can make it easier for you. By the way, if you click on the link or the button below, not only will you join my YouTube membership program, but you also have access to loyalty badges, custom-made emojis I created for myself, week early access to future reviews, and a special shout out from yours truly. So if you guys want to be mentioned in the video, just click on the link or the button below and become a member. It doesn't cost you much. It only costs about $2.99 a month to join. So make sure you click on the link or the button and become an OG Cinedroid in no time. Also, I set up a Patreon page for you guys to check out as well. There will also be a link in the description so that way you can visit my page and gain access to up to 4 membership tiers. On my page, I post nerdy fan polls, book audio reviews, and I'm planning to do movie/TV show episode commentaries, both audio and visual, on my page as well, uncut and full length. So if that's your cup of tea, if you guys are interested, go to the link below, become a patron, and let's get to know each other a bit more. Also, if you want to subscribe to my gaming channel, there's either a link in the description or at the icon card in the top right corner of your screen. Go over there, subscribe, and let's just have fun together. Also, if you want to subscribe to my regular GS Productions channel, there will be a link in the description so that way you can check that out as well. Show it some love. It really helps out a lot. But until then, I'll see you next time. Peace out.